Hey girl, welcome to the Win a Pageant podcast. I'm your coach, Alycia Darby. Today's episode is brought to you by Beauty, Truth, and Grace, the Amazon best-selling pageant coaching. It's like a manual. It's really a book. It's a pretty thick book though. This sucker is page after page of step-by-step coaching on how you can prepare for your pageant. And it's actually written in order from first, how to position yourself to compete, and then a winning mindset. We talk through judges and platform and interview and onstage question. We even discuss in here funding your actual pageant, okay? So, you know, it's an expensive hobby. You might want those tips. It's worth the price of admission there. And I think that Amazon is still selling this book for less than $10. So if you are ready to get your hands on a copy of this pageant coaching book, go to winapageant.com/book and it'll redirect you straight to the Amazon page. Now, today's question, we've got a little Q&A. It comes from Lisbeth, and she asks, pantyhose, yes or no? I love this. The bare-legged look has been popular for a long time, but does it apply to interview? How about evening gown, especially if the gown has a slit? She writes, I generally like going bare-legged during evening gown since I may be wearing open-toed shoes. Good point, Lisbeth. But even if I'm not, bare feet give me more of a grip on the sole of my feet. Brilliant. But interview, what's your advice? She says, thank you. Well, thank you, Lisbeth. I want to share with you a little bit of pantyhose education because it is kind of confusing. Like, should I wear this? Do I have to wear it? What are the judges going to think? So let's talk pantyhose. First, pantyhose are different than tights. For those of you listening, tights are the thicker ones that offer a lot more coverage, and pantyhose are generally sheer, okay? They became big in the 60s when women were like sick of wearing, you know, stockings and girdles and things like that. So that's why your grandmother, like my grandmother, may think that it's indecent to go to church or work, or especially to be on stage without them, right? So there's that. Then in 1995-ish, the corporate culture of pantyhose started to change. So in 95, that's the corporate culture, that's like who was keeping it alive. But then pantyhose started to no longer be a dress code, even for big companies like the Mayo Clinic, which is like a massive healthcare institution, okay? So then, circle around to present day, more celebrities actually started wearing pantyhose, like they're bringing it back. Kate Middleton, Ariana Grande, Beyonce, several others started wearing pantyhose again as a matter of personal fashion style. So pantyhose no longer have the connotation with decent coverage. They used to think like you needed to wear it in order to be decent, you know? Now it's more about personal expression. So Lisbeth, pantyhose are not necessarily expected, nor do they even get encouraged. However, if you do want to wear them, it's not going to be looked down upon, okay? Because it's simply a matter of style and of preference. Now, to your point, there are a few things to consider if you are going for the pantyhose look. Firstly, buy the expensive ones, okay? Don't cheapen out on that, okay? Because the more expensive ones are generally more quality made. You got to get the right size and the right color for your leg tone. So practice the color with your spray tan on. Now you got to keep an extra pair or two or three handy in case you do get a snag, because pantyhose do snag very easily. And I want you to wear shoes that do hide the toe seam, okay? Now try to avoid, or tuck this toe seam under a bit, okay? Now you got to avoid pantyhose with extra material, like control tops. Do not wear them. Do not wear the ones that have extra material around the toes, okay? And finally, by all means, practice in them so that you can make sure that they're not going to be sticking to your dress, rather your dress or your interview outfit sticking to the pantyhose, so they're going to like be pulling it down all the time, okay? So a couple tips there if you go for it. I'd love to hear if you do. Thank you so much for writing in, Lisbeth. I hope that this helps you kind of inspire your inner fashionista and frees you up with the power to choose. So if you've got a question and you would like it answered in an upcoming episode of the Win a Pageant podcast, you can submit it very easily at winapageant.com/Q. Like question, Q. Okay, now I gotta hear from you. What do you think about pantyhose? Is there a time or a place that you would prefer wearing them? Or was there ever a moment in your life that you just like totally gave them up? Give me the scoop. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment in the, just below the video. Hey, do not forget to click subscribe and share this with a friend who might be considering pantyhose. Okay, great question, Lisbeth. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you on the next Win a Pageant Wednesday. Love ya! Hey, I've got something for you. You know, in a pageant, the interview is notoriously the most nerve-wracking phase of competition. But it doesn't have to be. It's just that women keep making the same mistakes over and over and over in their preparation process, and no one's ever told them not to. Until now. I created a 3-part video training series for you, and it's called the 3 Rookie Pageant Interview Mistakes and How to Avoid Them. It's totally free, and it's going to walk you through how to avoid the common errors that everyone is making. Do you want it? Hop on over to freepageantcourse.com, and I'll see you there.